For some, carp fishing in winter is deemed pointless. Carp, after all, are cold-blooded, and the low temperatures do affect their behaviour. However, for those dedicated anglers amongst us, you can be rewarded with quieter banks, beautiful scenery, and an incredible feeling of satisfaction when you catch a winter carp. Here you join me on a winter day session targeting a new lake. So I arrived at a new lake this morning. This here is a place that I've never been to before. And I woke up quite early because I wanted to get in this particular spot that I've been told, there, holds a lot of fish. There's a big bed of reeds out there, and that looks like one of the main features on the lake where I think fish will be holding up. Now, because I woke up really early and because I drove here just as it was getting light, very excited, I forgot something, or rather I forgot two things. I didn't forget my bucket, my rods, my rucksack, my chair, my lens cap for the camera, or my lunch. I didn't even forget lunch. No, but crisps, apple, water. No, what I forgot was a landing net and an unhooking mat. Without my landing net and unhooking mat, I would be in a little bit of trouble if I hooked a fish. So instead, what I'm going to do is be patient. I'm going to throw a bit of bait out and wait for my good buddy Ryan to arrive. Ryan's going to come and save the day, and yeah, I'll fish with him for a bit today. It's beautiful conditions out here. One of the first like really nice, mild, overcast days. So hopefully the carp are on the feed. Remembering your net is very important, but so is location, especially in winter. Of course, it's vital in summer too, but in the cold, carp will shoal together in groups. Perhaps it's for safety, or huddling together keeps them warm. Whatever the reason, in winter, if you find one carp, you'll probably have found many of them as they are tightly gathered up. Well, Ryan has arrived to save the day with a landing net. You have got rods, right?
Yes, I have.
Good.
And bait and tackle, and the only thing I didn't bring was lunch, but...
You can't eat boilies, Ryan. To locate these fish, you'll want to keep your eyes on the water, focusing in on little patches of bubbles, knocking reed stems, or the subtlest of swirls. They're unlikely to be crashing or jumping out at this time of year. Hook bait is a pink pop-up, and it's all put inside a solid bag. I'm going to chuck that across to the reeds now. If you haven't seen anything, then your next best option is to cast around with a single hook bait or PVA bag to try and find them. Often, I will recast every hour or so, trying a different area each time, until I hopefully get lucky and land my bait right on them. Bites can still come quickly in winter if you get your feeding and approach right. On.
Worth getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning for, eh?
Yeah, with a nice early start.
Common or mirror?
Mirror. Can I get close? We caught a carp, Ryan.
Hey.
How weird is that? Things actually went to plan. Oh, I caught one. It's getting on for £10. And it took about 10 minutes. Now we're going to wait 30 minutes and catch a 30-pounder. Off you go. What do we have here? That looks like you've got all the Carnet sticker pack decorating your quarter tackle box.
The rest, one of them's on. Wait for it. Back of my phone.
Whoa! You're literally the biggest fan of our channel, I can't believe it. I'm very lucky to have a friend like you.
Biggest fan or obsessive
Stalker.
stalker.
Creepy man. In summer, I'll often introduce a good few handfuls of bait by hand or with a spawn. The fish are hungry, and to keep them in my area, I'll keep giving them food. In winter though, they just aren't feeding so much. Once the water reaches about 10 degrees, the fish's metabolism slows right down. Once it reaches 4 degrees, they just won't devour bait like they normally would. This is why my go-to approach in winter is a PVA bag. It provides a small patch of bait accurately around the rig, which entices the fish towards your bait, gives them a little mouthful of food, but not so much that it could fill them up and reduce the chances of getting a bite. Ryan's got a fish. Fetches a net for the boy. That was a good bite, that was.
Rather onto the tree.
Yeah, ripped off. Oh, nearly. And he is in.
Way! Mate, that's a banger.
Yeah. Oh, carp.
Scaly carp.
Well,
Lovely little carp.
good to be out catching them again, isn't it, Ryan?
Mate, those beautiful little fish.
Bye-bye. Oh, it's good to see a happy Ryan on the bank today. It's good to be catching them. It's really nice to get a bend in the rod again. Nice table, that.
There's a natural table, yeah.
Organic.
Exactly. The new Carl and Alex organic fishing table.
Yeah, buy it. As an alternative to PVA bag fishing, especially if your lake is very silty or weedy, a chod rig with a popped up ball of maggots provides a great presentation when you're sort of casting around and trying to locate the carp. Talking of maggots, on venues with low numbers of silverfish, maggots can rarely be beaten as a winter carp bait. Of course, if you go and throw maggots into your local lake and they are just demolished by roach and rudd as they're sinking, you could be wasting your time and money using maggots. However, if you reel in after a few hours and the maggots are still on your rig, then the silverfish probably aren't going to be too problematic. To attach maggots to your rig, you can use two methods. When fishing on the bottom, I'll often use a maggot clip for convenience. You can mount a load of grubs on one of these clips, close it, and just cast it out. Alternatively, if you want to use a pop-up rig with maggots, it can be better to use a length of cotton thread to secure your bait. Take a needle and slide the baits onto the thread before tying it off and attaching it to your hair rig. I like to put a piece of foam or a pop-up on the hair first, so that the ball of maggots wriggles enticingly on top. The benefit of using a popped-up bait is that it sits up and above the weeds, leaves or silt on the bottom, ensuring good presentation on spots which aren't so clean. On this session, I decided not to use maggots as I had been told there were a lot of bream present in the lake. Instead, I opted for PVA bags full of micro pellets and a small pop-up hook bait. Just as lively and mental as the last one that I caught. Yeah, we're catching them. Since my first trip went so well, I brought Alex back with me a few weeks later. This session proved how hit or miss winter carp fishing can be, as after a few hours, neither of us had received a bite.
That rod isn't going anywhere. Blimey.
Way too loud. It can be hard to find motivation to fish for carp when it gets very cold. If the waters are icing over, then your chances of catching are reduced. However, every winter there will be a little warm spell or a few overcast days where the temperatures get up into the high single figures. This is the time to find somewhere reasonably well stocked and give it a go. Another piece of advice if you're heading out for a winter carp during a mild spell is to look for shallow venues. Shallow water of, under 3 feet, let's say, warms up a lot quicker. So if you get some warm weather, it will get the carp moving in shallow water far sooner than it would in a deep pit, for example. This is why I chose this particular lake for our winter sessions.
That gave me such a shock. I thought it was going to be your rods that were going to go. They were so tight to those reeds.
No, this was to the tree, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was to the fallen tree on the far side.
He's come straight out. I had the clutch quite tight, and with the system we had set up with the bivvy peg stuck in the ground to stop the rod from moving, only a little bit of line was pulled. So the fish didn't end up getting into that tree, which is exactly what we wanted.
Ooh, those scales.
He's scaly.
Hey, got him.
Well, that is not only my first carp of the year, which sounds a bit embarrassing.
No, it's not yet. There's one from the canal.
Canal. Oh yeah, forgot about that. It's a nice fish though. Oh, I'm well happy about that. He's scaly. There we go, first bite of the session. It took a few hours, but that sun got on the water and I think warmed them up a little bit and they got on the feed. The rod was cast over towards that overhanging tree, which just looked perfect spot for a bite. And this little fella was sat there munching on the bait.
I thought I was going to get one from the reeds.
Yeah, same. Your spot over there looked mega. You're getting a few liners as well, but
there's still time.
My bonus sneaky rod went off. Nice one. Oh, well happy about that. Your turn now, Cole.
Hopefully.
There must be some fish getting in those reeds with that sun. I'm feeling warmer.
The reeds have been knocking.
Yeah. We'll keep our fingers crossed and
eyes crossed.
Yeah, we'll do that.